guys, thanks for tuning into the video. In a previous video, I know I mentioned wasn't sure if my next video was going to be putting the plow mount on this truck or a drainage job. I'm kind of hoping maybe if the timing works out I can get both of them into the same video, but as you can see, we need to get a plow mount on this truck. I'm going to be doing a little bit of road maintenance for some county roads this year. And as you can see, drove about 5 hours yesterday to pick up this rusty beauty. Pretty rough condition, but I think it's good enough to hold together for at least the season for me. And if we get one season out of it and the stuff's working out, either get a newer or a new one for next year, or just do some work to keep this one going. But gotta make some room in the shop to get the truck pulled in and get all of the plow mount stuff worked out. But we'll get moving on it. All right, guys, got the barn cleaned out, got the truck pulled inside, gotta get the plow mount on, and then when I'm done with that, gotta change the oil and get it ready for winter. So first thing up is the, wait a minute, what the heck? You know, I've heard rumors that YouTube magic is real. I never really believed them, but holy moly, how in the world does that work? It's almost as if I just paid somebody to do it. Alright guys, YouTube magic is not real. I paid somebody to do it. It's the week of Thanksgiving. I've got some plans with the family. To be honest, they charged me $700. It probably would have taken me 2 days because I've never done it before. $700 for 2 days of my time, which isn't really worth it in my eyes. I wasn't too happy with how they mounted the power plugs. They ran, looks like 2 self-tap screws through the bumper. I'm not upset with them. I guess I probably should have asked some more questions before I just dropped it off blindly for them to do it. If this was a dedicated work truck, it'd be the perfect place for it. I mean, they're set up, they're solid, rugged. The plow should be able to just hook right to it and not be flopping around. But hopefully this truck will only be plowing snow 1% of the miles that it has. And for that 1%, I wouldn't mind bending down and pulling a plug out from somewhere or something along those lines. Again, I'm not upset. They did a great job. As long as everything functions, I'm not too upset. But I wish it wasn't drilled into the bumper. But it is what it is. But now that that's done, I need to get my oil changed. The way they designed this drain plug is elevated from the pan around it. I only use really good oil, Schaefer's oil. We actually had the rep come out and do their mysterious test. I liked it. I compared it to oil that I had right there on the shelf, and it was far superior. But this is designed in a way that not all the oil comes out, so if there's still a little bit left in there, I won't tell if you don't tell. Oh good, I missed a little. I like having a mess to clean up. So I learned something changing the oil in this truck as well as my wife's truck. I'd always get mad that there's a built-in funnel underneath of the oil filter, and you can kind of put the pan under and collect what comes out. And I've got this handy tool to plug off the filter in mine. Hers doesn't need it, she's got the 6.4 Hemi. But I'd always get so mad because the drag link is directly below the funnel, and of course the oil would hit the drag link and run every direction, make a huge mess, pain to clean up. And then we park both of our trucks in our heated and cooled garage, epoxy floors, and it just dripped for about a week. Drives me nuts. Well, I found out that I just had the truck jacked up. If you have it on any incline, it runs straight to the drag link. If you take the truck off of, whether it be jack or ramps, it goes straight down the funnel right into the oil pan. And then you just take a rag, wipe out that plastic funnel deal, and you're done. No mess. So much simpler, so much easier. But this truck is still a pain with the location of this filter. And you gotta drop it down. It's full of oil. You gotta make sure it stays upright. Thread in this tool because you gotta lay it over on its side to get it out. And every time I did it without this tool, I basically ended with a quart of oil on the ground. So looky there. Hardly any oil. I really prefer to just find somewhere good to balance this filter. So that way a dog comes through or a cat comes through and knocks it over. Gives me great joy. Oh boy, can you tell I'm sick? It's been a fun couple days. If you haven't noticed, I feel so much more better today. It's like day and night difference. So there's mixed reviews on doing this. Some guys say that pre-filling your filter, you have somewhere around like half a quart of unfiltered oil that goes into your engine. And then the other argument is, if you don't do it, you basically are running your engine for a second or two without oil. So it's kind of choose your battle. Which one do you want? I would prefer to stick with the manufacturer's recommendation and run half a quart of good oil out of a jug that I just opened myself, then run it dry. She's still bubbling. She might want a little bit more. She's thirsty. She's getting bursty. We're gonna act like that is full. Oh my goodness. It's right here is hands down the worst part of changing oil in this truck. It's so hard to line this heavy filter up through a hole where you can't see anything. Oh my goodness, just got it. Right as I start complaining, I think that's the key to things. Complain about them for about 3 seconds, then your problem goes away. Now normally at this point of the process, my hands are rather oily. I cannot get a good grip through this hole good enough to turn this filter. And short story for you, my neighbor has a very similar truck. People actually confuse ours pretty often, but his is a 2018. He has the high output with the Asian transmission. I've got standard output. Anyways, his truck at 65,000 miles, he was having an issue with the oil filter would not seal up to housing. And long story short, the filter had actually backed itself off, blew out the gasket, and drained the oil going down the road. And it cost him about $35,000 by the time he had a new long block put in his truck and get it back on the road. I would rather slightly over tighten a filter in hopes that I prevent that. I don't know if you guys realize this, but on a Ram, you have to turn it to where went too far. That has to be legible from standing in front of the engine. So when you pop your hood and say, I got a 6.7 Cummins, you got to be able to read everything. Barely fits.
scissors.